entertainment bullseye every week with her hard riding. Straight shooting. And suspense.
Pardon me, but we're strangers in town, and I wondered if you could tell me where the general store was.
Oh, well, yes, it's right down the street there.
Much obliged.
You planning to make your home in Diablo?
We hope to. Oh, I'm John Boone. This is my son, Skipper.
Boone?
Yes, my father was Captain Boone. Perhaps you knew who he was.
I know who he was. Gee, Pop, what's wrong with her?
Well, I don't know. Yeah. All ashore, Skipper.
Aye, aye, Pop.
Oh, something for you, mister?
I have a list right here.
A list, eh? Say, that's a right nice order. You folks setting up housekeeping?
Yes, we are.
Well, I'm always glad to welcome new customers to town. I'm Dan Petticourt.
Oh, I'm glad to know you. I'm John Boone. This is my son, Skipper.
Boone? You ain't by chance any kin to old Captain Boone who died a few weeks back?
Yes, he was my father.
Oh. You got the cash to pay for this order?
Well, of course we have.
Better get the money in your hand, Dan.
What's that supposed to mean?
Just what it sounds like. I hold little trust for anyone named Boone.
Guess you don't know what happened around here, Admiral.
I know exactly what happened.
Say, your pa wasn't very well thought of around here, and he died owing me a passel of money.
You'll get it.
What are you going to pay it with? That pirate's gold the old captain was looking for?
Why, sure, Toby. He's going to get John Lafitte's ghost to lead him right to the spot.
Pshaw, there ain't no more treasure around here than there is ocean.
There is so. You just wait. Me and Pop will show you. Won't we, Pop?
We'll show him, Skipper.
You've been out in the sun too long, Admiral, just like your pa. Make you daffy, too? Ooh. Nothing I like better than a good fight, Admiral.
Mister? Yes, thanks.
You got no right to interfere, Deputy. This here is John Boone. He had it coming.
What are you trying to do, kill him for something you think his father did?
I don't reckon there's many hereabouts and much care if we did.
The law would. Now get on about your business. All right, folks, party's over. I'm Lofty Craig, Mr. Boone. This is Annie Oakley and Brother Tagg.
Hello.
How are you?
Hi. You must be Skipper.
Yes, ma'am.
We heard a lot about you from the captain. Me and him were good friends. I used to go with him and Mr. Scott and hunt for the treasure.
Gosh, you did?
Uh-huh.
Gee, maybe Pop will let you help us. How about it, Pop?
Well, I don't see why not. From the reception we got, I reckon we'll need some help.
Tagg, why don't you get Pixie and take Skipper on out to the ranch?
Sure, sis. Come on, Skipper.
Is it okay, Pop?
Shove off, Skipper. With the boys gone, I suppose you want to ask some questions.
There are a few things you should know. That is, if you plan on continuing the search for the treasure.
Mm-hmm. There's one question I'd like to ask.
Oh?
That girl standing in front of the bank, who is she?
It's Kathleen Scott. Her father was the captain's partner.
Oh. Is she running the bank now?
Ever since her father died.
I see.
The truth is, Mr. Boone, that no one in town believes there is a treasure. They think Kathleen's father died in vain.
But how can they blame the captain? He died on the search, too.
Well, most of the folks around here thought the captain was crazy because of his stories about the pirate treasure.
And when Mr. Scott grubstaked him and went along on the search, well, they thought he was being taken. They resented it. And, of course, you know what happened on the trail. They got caught in a dust storm and both died.
The captain was a stranger to most people around here. Mr. Scott, well, he was a friend. I guess they had to blame somebody for his death.
So they picked on the captain, an old man who'd never hurt anyone in all his life. And they called him crazy.
I know they were wrong, but well, that's about it.
I'm going to prove them wrong, Annie.
Well, if it's any help to you, John, we're on your side.
Thanks. Did you know my father kept a journal of the progress of the search?
Yes, but it was never found. It was probably lost in the dust storm.
If that treasure is around here, well, it's just a matter of patience and time.
A seafaring man learns patience. It's the time I'm worried about.
What do you mean?
I suppose you know the captain had the ranch mortgaged to the bank.
Yes, we did.
Well, the last extension is due in 2 months, and the way Miss Scott feels, doesn't look like I stand a chance for another one. 2 months to find a treasure that's been buried over 60 years.
Sea lovers, hoist the mizzenmast! Man ahoy!
Full speed ahead, the treasure's awaiting!
We gotta get up more speed! Come on, Pixie!
Oh, Pixie, we've reached the secret island. Good boy, Pixie. You make the best one-horsepower boat ever.
Gee, just think. Tomorrow we won't have to pretend. We'll be looking for real treasure.
Yeah. Let's go in.
Okay.
This is a swell house, isn't it?
Yeah, just about everything the captain ever owned is in here.
Say, how'd he ever find out about that treasure anyhow?
My pop says it was when he was skipper of his own ship.
Gee, that pirate, you know, Jean Lafitte, is he really the one that buried it?
Sure, he and his men got chased to around here somewheres, but they never were caught. Nobody ever knew what happened to them.
Indians, probably.
I guess so. Anyway, all I know is that treasure's buried around here somewheres, and you and I are gonna help my pop find it. Right?
Shake.
Hey, our mates, go buy yourself something good.
Thanks a lot, Pop.
How's it going, Admiral? Sun getting to you yet?
Easy, John. Let him talk.
Sure don't see any gold pouring out of that wagon of yours. Maybe you ought to have a talk with some ghosts. Maybe they can tell you where that treasure is.
Maybe I'll do that.
Wouldn't surprise me a bit.
You going in the bank?
Think it'll do me any good?
No harm in trying. Would you like some company?
I'd love it.
I'm amazed you even had the nerve to ask for an extension on your loan. The answer is no, definitely.
Well, all I need is a little time, Miss Scott.
That's what your father said, and my father believed him. Am I supposed to make the same mistake?
Kathy, you're being unreasonable.
I'm sorry, Annie. There are people in this area who need a loan badly. For a much more sound reason. Ranchers need the time to sink wills. Farmers need time to bring in good crop. If I grant any extensions, it will be to people looking for food and water, not pirate treasure.
But, Kathy, that's exactly the reason your father joined Captain Boone on the search, so he could use his share of the treasure to help the ranchers.
And I was against it from the very beginning. But Father had a dream, and Captain Boone took advantage of it to get him out on some wild goose chase.
The captain was going to put most of his share in that dream, too.
That's what he said. But it was just so he could continue his ridiculous search for a treasure that doesn't exist.
It does exist, and I'm going to prove it.
Mr. Boone, I'll expect full payment on your loan in 2 weeks.
You know, Kathleen, I think you've forgotten something.
What's that, Annie?
John lost his father, too.
See something, Pop?
Yes, look down there.
Gosh, what is it?
I don't know, Beatties, but I'm sure gonna find out.
Gosh, Pop, that's awful steep.
Don't worry. I've still got my sea legs.
Pop! Mr. Boone! Hey, hold it.
I gotta help him.
It's too steep. We'll have to get somebody.
We can't just leave him there.
Well, help me unhitch one of the horses. You stay here and I'll ride to town. Hold the horse.
He hasn't moved at all. Maybe he's dead.
Easy, Skipper. We'll do all we can. Tag, you work target. I'll go down on the rope. Work him slowly and carefully, Tag.
Okay, sis. Sure wish Lofty was here instead of serving papers in Diablo Junction.
John, can you help yourself a little bit?
I guess so.
Here, let me put this rope around you. Come on. Easy now. Wait a minute. All right, Tag, take him up easy.
Back up some more, Target. Come on, Target. Back up.
Easy, Tag.
Come on, Target. Good. Good, Target. Back up. Come on, Target. A little more, Target. Oh, boy, oh. Oh.
All right, Tag.
Pop,
He'll be all right, Skipper. We just have to get him to a doctor.
Annie, we've got to get that saddle back. Maybe the captain's.
Gosh, Annie, you're not thinking of going down there again, are you?
Maybe I won't have to, Tag. You boys can go down the road and pick it up after you help me get John into the wagon.
All right, sis.
Served him right, if you ask me. Running around looking for pirate treasure.
I didn't hear anybody ask you, Sloan.
He's tetched, just like his old man.
You actually believe that treasure exists, Lofty?
I believe the man deserves a chance, Miss Scott. All right, go on, break it up. Leave him alone.
Why, so he can talk to himself?
Why don't you get an honest job, Toby, instead of trying to be a comedian?
I think it's funny. Pirate treasure. Why, there's no more...
Hey! Annie! Lofty! Oh. We found the journal, Annie. We found it. The captain and Mr. Scott found the treasure in a cave in Toluca Canyon.
I don't believe it. Let me see that.
It says right here in the book.
That's enough, Tag. We better read this inside.
Yo-ho, I've heard enough. Toluca Canyon. The way I see it, the treasure belongs to whoever finds it first. Come on, boys.
come on, Toby. The mother's gonna beat us to it.
Relax. That canyon's full of dead ends. That treasure could be any place.
Yeah, but we ain't gonna find it standing here.
Oakley and that sailor know what's in the journal. The rest of them don't. We'll follow them, and they'll lead us right to it.
Read it, Annie. We'll still have the jump on the others.
The search for Lafitte's treasure came to an end today. We located the chest in a cave at the southern end of the canyon. This next entry came later. The dust and wind have been increasing steadily. Scott fell, broke his ankle. We're going to try to make it to town. Scott, now in great pain, must get him to town. Wind getting stronger. That's the last entry. We know the rest.
Annie, Mr. Boone, I wish there was more I could say. I'm sorry.
Well, what are we waiting for? We've got a treasure to search for. Let's get started.
Let's get our horses.
There's at least a dozen caves at this end of the canyon. Could be in any one of them.
We better split up. I'll take the boys with me.
It's a good idea. Lockie and I'll ride south through the canyon and you go on ahead.
Well, if you're running into any trouble, fire 2 shots. That'll be the signal.
Aye. Yeah. My son has the eyes of a sailor. He'll make a good lookout. All right, mateys, follow me. Let's go. Watch your step and stay close to me.
Let them do the finding, then we'll take over.
What happened?
Here, hold this. Stand still. I'll have it lit in a jiffy. Breeze must have blown it out. That couldn't happen unless...
What is it, Mr. Boone?
It's a tunnel. Must lead to another part of the cave. Stay close behind me.
All right.
Look. We found it.
Real pirate treasure. Holy Toledo.
Come on, Skipper. Maybe we'll find some more.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Save the celebration. Let's get this outside. We'll take the wagon in front.
What about those kids?
Forget them. Come on, help me with this.
They're stealing the treasure. What are we gonna do?
You stay and help your dad. I'll follow them.
But Tagg!
Get up here.
Someone hit me over the head, and they took Tagg.
Tagg, why?
We found the treasure. They took it in the wagon.
The treasure isn't important. You've got to save Tagg.
Did you see who it was?
No, I didn't.
I did. It was those two fellows from town.
Hey, Annie. Look.
A gold coin.
Yeah. Here's another one. And another one.
Lofty Tagg's left us a trail.
Yeah, a golden trail.
We'll have to fight it out.
We better watch our shots. Lofty Tagg's in that wagon. To think of something like that.
I think the two boys deserve the most credit for finding the captain's journal.
When two sailors like us team up, we're unbeatable. Eh, Pop?
Hi, Skipper.
I wish there was something I could say, Mr. Boone, but I'm afraid you don't desire to talk to me now, and frankly, I don't blame you.
On the contrary, John has many things he wants to talk to you about.
Like another partnership, maybe?
Partnership? I don't understand.
Well, your father and mine had a dream, Miss Scott. There's no reason why you and I can't make it come true.
But after the way I treated you,
That's in the past. With the treasure, we can do all the things our fathers wanted to do. Help the farmers, the ranchers, everything. Is it a deal?
It's a deal.
I can't thank you two enough. Without your faith and support, I'm afraid I would have shoved off a long time ago.
We were glad to help, John.
Hey, Pop, can we have a quarter for some ice cream? We sure could stand some refreshing.
Aye, Skipper. I'm sorry, Skipper, I can't. Believe it or not, I'm broke. I'm the poorest rich man you ever saw.
Bullseye! Annie Oakley hits the entertainment bullseye every week with her hard riding. Shooting. And suspense.
Hello, Lofty.
Hello, John.
Hey, Tagg.
Hi.
I was afraid you weren't going to make it.
Well, you didn't think we'd miss your wedding, did you?
We stopped at your newspaper office. The fella said you were down here.
Or just some last-minute fixing before the ceremony, Tagg.
How do you feel about being best man, Dave?
The truth, Lofty, is worse than any gunfight I ever walked into.
You just handle the rings where you do the gun, and they'll come off without a hitch.
Say, where's the lucky girl, John?
Oh, up in the room. Kathy?
Yes, Master.
Come on down here. Let me present my fiancée, Kathy Stokes, Annie Oakley,
Hello, Kat.
Lofty Craig,
How do you do?
and Annie's brother, Tagg.
Hello. You don't suppose we could have sort of an outdoor wedding, do you?
Well, we planned on the hotel, Tagg. Why do you ask?
Well, to tell you the truth,
Tagg's just not used to being dressed up in his Sunday best.
He's afraid no one will know him.
And more afraid our clothes won't arrive.
Well, don't you worry about that, Tagg. Tomorrow's going to be a big day, and I'll be lucky if I remember my own name. I'll probably even spell it wrong in my newspaper. Come on, let's go inside.
Looks like the wedding's coming off, boys, just like we heard.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here in the sight of God and in the face of this company to join together this man and this woman in holy matrimony, which is an honorable estate and therefore not to be entered into unadvisedly or lightly, but reverently, discreetly, advisedly, soberly, and in the fear of God. Into this holy estate, these two persons present come now to be joined. If any man can show just cause why they may not lawfully be joined together, let him speak, or hereafter forever hold his peace.
It's bad.
Help me carry him to the docks.
McAndrews, get some men. We'll form a posse.
Must be one of them. It looks just like one of the horses.
Sure does. Wonder why he's alone.
I don't know, but he ain't gonna be for long.
Easy, boy. You ain't hurt none too bad. Just a pulled tendon.
Don't touch it, mister.
All right, unbuckle.
There been trouble?
That's right, mister, and you're right in the middle of it.
It's been fired. Not too long ago.
That's right. I fired a rattler back trail a few miles.
3 times?
3 times. You ever try shooting a rattler sitting atop a spooked horse?
Looks a lot faster when he rides, don't he?
He seems to. What's your name, mister?
My name is Davis, Will Davis.
What slowed you down? Your horse go lame?
And I stopped attending.
That's lucky for us, ain't it?
Look, I got a right to know. Just what do you want?
We want you, Davis, and your 2 pals.
I told you I... Pals?
That's right. Now mount up.
I've got a lame horse.
Tell him the truth. Full tendon.
Well, that's too bad. You just have to walk back then.
Now you can ride double with me. Get his horse.
Wait a minute. You better state your reasons. You're going to have to drag me.
Well, after what you did, that'd be a pleasure.
Easy, Mac. You're under arrest, Davis. That reason enough?
What's the charge?
Armed robbery. Maybe murder.
Murder?
They've been in there over an hour. John. I'm sorry, John.
Kathy, the wedding, it'll just have to wait.
Of course.
Posse's back, and they got one of them. See one of them, Lofty?
Looks that way. Get off, Davis.
John, stop it! Dave's dead, Lofty.
I'm sorry, John. This man's in my custody. As long as he is, the law will prevail, not personal feelings.
Oh, son, would you take care of my horse? His leg needs rubbing.
Sure. He sure doesn't look like a killer, does he, Annie?
No, he doesn't, Tagg, but neither did Billy the Kid. Lofty, from what you've told me, all the evidence is circumstantial. They can't try him without proof.
Well, they can try him, Annie. They can't convict him.
Well, we'll know about that soon enough. The judge just arrived.
He's not due for another week.
I know. John Robbins wired him. Convinced him he ought to move up the date of the circuit court.
John's in a big hurry, isn't he?
Well, do you blame him?
When does court convene?
Tomorrow. That's what I came over to tell you. They're at the courthouse now selecting a jury. The judge wants to see you over there.
Look after things here, will you, Annie?
Sure.
Say, ma'am, could I see you for a minute? You ever heard of a hard luck Joe?
Yes.
I'm one of them. You know, when things go bad for a man, that one bad thing after another seems to follow him. For instance, take the time that I waited in line for 4 hours to try to get a job herding cattle for the government. And just as I got up to the table, you know what happened?
No.
The man said there's no more jobs. Then I was punching cattle for 3 months for a rancher. One day he rode out on the range and said, Davis, I've been foreclosed. I ain't got no money. But he said, I'll tell you about another job, a 4-day ride away from here. So I got on my horse and I rode about 2 days. And my horse went lame. I got off the horse and started to take care of that leg. And before you knew it, I was right in jail here on a charge of murder. I began to think I was a Jonah.
As a matter of fact, I believe it is.
Things don't look none too good for me, do they?
Is there anyone you'd like for me to notify about the trial?
No, I ain't got no kinfolk.
You must have some friends that'd be able to help.
I'm afraid not, ma'am. An old saddle tramp like me don't make any friends. I tell you one thing, though, that horse of mine, if he could talk, he'd tell the people around Sand Creek here that we never been in this territory.
You know, I believe that.
You do? Then I want to swear to you, ma'am, that I never saw that Prentice gang before. But you know something?
What?
That jury ain't gonna believe it.
Dave's kindness and understanding towards his fellow townsmen will never be forgotten by his many friends. Dave's personal feelings never obstructed his sense of duty. We all know that he was not a man of hate or revenge. For this unwarranted killing, justice must be done.
Murder trial continues. Killer takes stand. It's not very objective reporting, is it? John is trying Will Davis in his newspaper.
He's already pronounced sentence.
Gosh, there must be something we can do.
You're still convinced he's innocent, aren't you, Annie?
Do you think he's guilty?
I don't know, but guilty or innocent, I know what John is doing is wrong.
Kathy, we can all understand how John feels, but Davis deserves a fair trial, and he's not getting it.
Well, he's had every chance to defend himself.
With what? All he's got is his word against John and the power of the press.
Everybody in town's on John's side, including the jury.
Well, I know John's wrong, but what can I do?
Lofty and I've tried to talk some sense into him, but he just won't listen. Maybe you'd have better luck.
Well, I'll try, but...
But what?
Well, he's changed. I can't explain it. He's just not himself.
Look, I'm going to try to explain something to you two. And I say it knowing that it's supposed to be hard for a woman to understand, but... Oh, friendship between men's a deep and curious bond. It's hard to explain, but it wins wars. It makes a man willing to die to keep a friend alive. Now, John just lost a friend. And he's fighting back at what he thinks killed him.
Would you do what he's doing?
I can't say, Annie. Maybe I would. Maybe I wouldn't, I don't know. All I can do is understand how John feels.
Do you think it would do any good if I talked to him?
It's worth a try.
I'm sure I'm right. No.
John, please try to be reasonable.
Will Davis is guilty.
Isn't that for the jury to decide?
They will.
Well, what are you writing now? Their decision?
What is it you want me to do?
Just be fair. Stop using your newspaper as a weapon. Give the man a chance.
Like you gave Dave?
At least Dave had a chance to fight back.
Wait a minute. Look, Kathy.
I am looking. And I don't like what I see. And I don't like what I'm going to say. Just a week ago, you were the kindest, most considerate man I've ever known. You were the man I was going to marry, remember? But you're not that man anymore. You're a total stranger.
Kathy, Dave was murdered. If this man goes free, this town can become a haven for outlaws. Can't you understand?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for both of us.
I don't know, ma'am. There's not much anybody can do in 5 days. Unless they could conjure up a miracle.
Anything new?
Just some wanted posters and bulletin.
Your horse, Mr. Davis, he's come along fine. His leg's almost well.
Thanks, son. Mighty nice of you to look after him.
Hey, Annie.
Yes?
This bulletin, take a look.
Hey, what is it, sis?
Just maybe a miracle.
Huh?
It's from the Marshal in Rimrock. It says 3 men identified as the Prentice gang robbed the bank there 2 days ago.
Gosh, I knew Will didn't do it.
Oh, hold on, Tagg. We'll need more than this.
Gosh, doesn't that prove that Will wasn't one of them?
I'm afraid not, Tagg. To prove it, we got to catch him.
And this is the lead.
Good.
Tagg, get the horse's saddle.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll be right back. I'm going to go over and see John for a minute.
I still don't see why this bulletin will change a thing. The Prentice gang could have gotten another man since then.
Don't you see it leaves a reasonable doubt?
Not in my mind, it doesn't. Davis is guilty.
All we're asking for, John, is time. It may take longer than 5 days.
Well, what can I do? The jury found him guilty.
With a lot of help from your paper. With that same influence, you could ask for a postponement.
I'm sorry, Annie. As far as I'm concerned, Davis is getting what he deserves. I wish you all the luck in finding the other men responsible.
I'm sorry, too, John. If an innocent man dies, it's not going to be easy on your conscience.
An innocent man has already died. Dave Carey.
All ready, sis. I sure hope you find those outlaws.
So do we. But in case we run out of time, you won't forget to do what I told you to do.
No, ma'am. I'll do it.
All right.
Good luck.
Any luck in Rimrock?
Nothing will do us much good, Annie. Everybody's pretty scared of Prentice and his boys. Even double the guards and all the stage runs.
Don't think Prentice doesn't know that. Is there anything big going out today?
Oh, there's a mine payroll going to Cedar City that's big. But like I said, it's under double guard.
Yes, you did.
All right, what's going on?
I was just trying to put myself in Prentice's boots, thinking I'd like to get hold of that payroll money.
And?
And I just figured out where I'd try and catch the guards by surprise.
Well, don't keep it a secret. Where?
Cedar Canyon, by the old mine shack. The stage has to move real slowly through there.
Annie, if I didn't know you better, I'd say you'd been out in the sun too long.
But
I know you better. Let's go. Sure glad you're on the right side of the law, Annie.
Well, when you're hunting, it helps to be able to think like whatever it is you're hunting.
True enough. They'll spot us if we ride in on them from here.
Yes, I know. I'll go around the ridge and cut off the other end of the canyon. You come up from behind.
Be careful.
We're being followed. Come on.
We have to make a fight of it from here.
Nice work. I was getting worried.
We're gonna have to ride fast to get to Sand Creek in time. We better drop these boys off at the marshal's office in Rimrock.
All right, mount up.
Mr. Davis! Mr. Davis!
Yeah?
Come here.
Wow.
Hurry up.
What do you want?
I blistered your horse, and I've been working him, too. He's in good shape.
Thanks, son. You're about the best pal I got.
Oh, it's okay. I got your horse around back. Be careful and good luck.
Davis slugged me and escaped. Your brother here gave him the key to his cell.
They were gonna hang him, Annie. I did what you told me to. I had to.
Well, you would have hanged an innocent man. This statement clears Will Davis of all the charges.
Where'd you get that?
From Prentice. He and his men are in jail at Rimrock.
Oh, Annie.
What's the matter?
John's gone after them with a gun.
Down, mister. You're coming back with me.
I told you once before you was wrong about me. You're gonna have to kill me if you want to take me this time.
That won't be hard.
John! He's innocent. The Prentice gang are all behind bars, and we've got the proof right here.
Annie,
It's over, Will. I guess we can all be thankful we got back in time.
And I can go right out of here clean?
That's right.
Davis, I don't know how to say this, but being sorry isn't much.
Look, all I want to do is to get on my horse and ride. The farther I get away from Sand Creek, the better I'll like it.
Well, I'd like to do something. I'd like to give you something.
They've given me everything I need. My freedom.
Speaking of freedom, I guess you can go ahead and lose yours now, John.
What do you mean?
We came to Sand Creek for a wedding, remember?
Yeah, that's right.
The ring, please. By the authority vested in me, I now pronounce you man and wife.
Am I ever glad this is over?
You weren't nervous, were you, Tagg?
Gosh, no. But now I can get out of this darn old suit.
Entertainment bullseye every week with her hard riding. Straight shooting. And suspense.
Front hand over seat. Back hand over seat. Good. Hi, Tagg. Hi, Rory.
Oh, that young'un of yours.
What are you playing? Bumbly Peg. Can I play? Sure.
Yeah, he's always my young'un when he's a roaring.
And he's always roaring.
I won't be long until I am to office. Where are you going?
Well, I'm going in and give Phil Colby a piece of my mind. Them work socks I bought for you didn't last no time.
Good for you, Ma.
I'll see.
I'm gonna do over the armsy. That's 2 points.
Okay, you're 5 points ahead. I'm gonna do backhand over the headsy. That's 5 points. Now watch.
Ouch! I'll teach you, you little ruffian. Come back here, you!
I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't even know he was there.
Rory couldn't see him. He wouldn't hurt anybody anyhow.
Now, settle down, both of you. Rory, you seem to be the cause of this. Just what happened?
I'll show you, Annie. Give me your knife. See? He was sitting down, doing a backhandsy over the headsy, like this, see? Ouch! Gee, I'm sorry, Annie. I didn't mean to do it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna knock your head together.
Now, just a minute, mister. Leave those kids alone. Just who are you, anyway?
My name is Boyd Spencer. I'm an investor.
Well, you'd better go out and start investing something and stay out of kids' games. Come on, fellas.
Now, you just wait a minute, Miss Trigger Quick.
Hold it!
Tell it to me, mister. You buying any?
It's not my fight.
What was the beef?
Nothing, Lofty. It was just kid stuff. And you fellas, listen to me. I know that a jackknife is standard male equipment, but you're going to have to learn you can't use them like a tomahawk.
I'll see you in the office, Annie. Got some news for you.
All right, Lofty. Well, it looks like your folks are ready to leave, Rory. Let's go.
Finally got here, my thunder. The deed to our homestead section.
Oh, that's wonderful, Mr. Wiggins. 640 acres of government land.
Sure makes a man feel real proud, owning a piece of the United States.
Well, you fought for it, Pa.
Sure, sure. Right up to Appomattox, but that's a man's beholden duty. Say, what was the matter with that fella there?
Oh, nothing, really. Only a stranger would have made a fuss.
Well, now, he ain't exactly a stranger. I've seen him several times riding around the Big Sink country. A couple of times he had another fella with him.
Well, that might be worth remembering.
Well, come on, Rory, let's get going. Now, just quit your roaring. Get up in that wagon there. There you go.
Pants every pop of button. You'll splatter that young'un all over the road.
Yeah, well, he'll bounce right back up again. Goodbye, Annie. We'll be seeing you.
Bye, Rory. Annie, I'm hungry.
Well, I'll feed you, Tagg. But after that, you're going to have to get that arithmetic done. Oh, what's that news, Lofty? Anything wrong?
Just more of the same. The Wheelers are going to sell out quick.
They lose more cattle?
19 head. Somebody poisoned their water tank on the edge of the Big Sink.
First it was a Madden's. Their fences were cut and 100 head were rustled. They want to sell their place. And Carl Hunt was shot while out looking for strays, and they want to sell out. And now the Wheelers. Lofty, what's back of all this?
I don't know, Annie. It beats me. You know, I was talking to Tom Wheeler today. He said it seemed like all this trouble came with that earthquake we had last August.
I know it sounds silly, but it did happen about a month after that. At least that's when the Madden's herd was run out. Say, Lofty, do you know a fellow by the name of Boyd Spencer?
Yeah. That was Spencer, the man I dropped out in the street. He's a buyer for Winton and Dale as ranch brokers.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, sure, I'm sure. You see, right after Carl Hunt was shot, well, I ran onto Spencer one day, riding out in the Big Sink. I checked him out then. Why you ask?
Just curious. Maybe we ought to check him a little farther.
Nah, I already have. He said he made his headquarters at Cactus Junction, so I checked with Sheriff Noble. Noble gave him a clean bill of health.
Well, if he's a ranch buyer, why didn't he buy up the Madden and Hunt spreads?
I don't know. Maybe he's just waiting for a little time to pull the price down.
Could be. I still don't understand all there is to know about this. I think I'll take a ride out tomorrow and see the Wheelers.
I'll go with you, Annie.
You're gonna go in and get washed up for dinner.
Come on, you heard her.
Yeah, I heard her. What's the matter, Annie?
Those men are heading up to the Big Sink.
What of it? They're entitled to the Big Sink.
Maybe so, but one of them's Spencer.
Oh, him.
Come on, Tagg, let's do a little snooping.
Hold it! We're being followed.
That's Annie Oakley and her brother, Mr. Jessup.
Well, stop them. I don't want them shot, just shot at. Come close enough to let them know we don't want them snooping around here.
Take care of it, Butler.
You go ahead to the caves. I'll go on over to the Wheeler place.
All right, come on.
seen the smoke when he fired. Gun him down. You can do it.
Saw the smoke, Tagg. I can't reach him with this 6-shooter against that rifle.
Geez, you're gonna let that guy shoot at us all day?
He's not trying to hit us, Tagg. He's just trying to scare us out of here. If he really wanted to hit us, all he'd have to do would be to raise his sights a little.
Aren't you gonna find out why he's shooting at us?
I'll find out some other time. Right now, I think it's more important that I go back and talk to Tom Wheeler. Come on. Looks like the Wheelers have company. You stay here, Tagg.
Okay, Annie.
Land sakes alive if it ain't Annie Oakley. Come in, Annie.
Thank you, Miss Wheeler. Good morning, Mr. Wheeler.
Morning, Annie. Say, you look like you had your dander up about something.
I have. Somebody shot at Tagg and me on the way over here.
Who shot at you?
I don't know. But they sure wanted to keep us out of the big sink.
On my land?
Yes.
Well, under these conditions, I don't think I can sell property. If, oh, excuse me. Annie, this is Frank Jessup. Annie Oakley, Mr. Jessup.
Miss Oakley?
Hello, Mr. Jessup. What property are you going to sell, Mr. Wheeler?
The ranch. I've had enough.
Are you getting a good price for it?
10,000.
10,000? Well, that's not even a third of what the property's worth.
I know, but...
You must be a pretty sharp trader, Mr. Jessup. Are you by any chance associated with Winton and Dale?
I don't know anything about Winton and Dale, except, of course, they're the largest ranch brokers in the West.
Well, if you want to buy a ranch, why don't you deal through them?
My dear young woman, I don't think how I deal or who I deal with is any of your business.
Did you say deal or steal?
Mr. Wheeler,
Look, Mr. Wheeler, you can't sell out that cheap. Joe Wiggins proved out on his claim just the other day, and he was the happiest man on earth to have the land. He was as proud as a peacock just to own a section of it. There's not anybody that could run him off of it now. Are you going to let this man practically rob you just because you've lost a few head of cattle?
I guess...
I can see this is no time to discuss the matter, Mr. Wheeler. You'll hear from me later.
Kind of got his neck hair up a bit, didn't you, Annie?
Just who is this man Jessup, anyhow?
I don't know exactly. Easterner, so he says. And he's got the money in cash.
Yeah, that kind usually does. What are they after?
Who?
Oh, Jessup and a man named Spencer and all the other strangers that are drifting into town. All the old faces are leaving. And I sure don't like the new ones that are coming in.
Oh, maybe they're just looking for some bargain ranches.
No, I don't think so. Say, this ranch of yours does run down to the big sink, doesn't it?
Runs plumb into it, right to where my eastern line meets Joe Wiggins's claim.
Well, does Wiggins have any trouble?
Nary a bit that I know of.
Well, then, all of the ranchers that own land down at the big sink are the ones that have had all the trouble.
That's right. Hunts, Maddens, the Wigginses, and us, we own all of it.
Land sakes, what's so important about the big sink? As far as I can see, it's just like all the rest of the land around here, except the graze is poor. Somebody told me once it was a volcano a zillion years ago.
Well, that's what the geologists call a fault, Mrs. Wheeler. A slippage of the rock strata. Say, maybe there's a river or a lake under it.
Land sakes, Wheeler, will you listen to this girl? Where'd you learn all that, Annie?
Oh, well, a government geologist that came through here last fall that was looking for earthquake information told me about it.
Well, I don't care what the earthquakes do to the big sink, but I want them to keep out of my pantry. Last time broke 3 of my wedding china dishes.
Mr. Wheeler, you're not going to sell, are you? We don't want to lose all of the good people around here.
No, Annie, I won't sell.
Well, praise be. I'm mighty glad to see you have got some spunk, Wheeler. Even if Annie Oakley had to give it to you.
Oh.
No, I won't sell, but I am going to have a closer look at the big sink.
I'll ride out with you.
Glad to have you.
Bye, Miss Wheeler.
Goodbye, Annie. Come back again real soon.
Thank you. Here's where we stopped, Mr. Wheeler. He was right up there in those rocks.
There ain't no reason to gun anybody up here.
There is a reason. Something we don't know anything about and something we can't even see.
Nothing but rocks.
Well, gold comes in rocks.
Gosh, Annie, so it does. I'm going to get some of the other ranchers. I'll meet you at the Wiggins' place, and we'll all take a look at the big sink.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I just can't wait any longer. I'm worried about Tom Wheeler.
There's nothing to worry about, Annie. There's a dozen places that Tom could be. As soon as he gets back, we'll take a look through the canyon and the sink, and then we'll report to you later in town.
No, I'd feel much better if I went out to look for Tom right now. I'll pick up Tagg on the way out.
Hey, Annie, look.
It's Mr. Wheeler. Come on.
Now, I know what they're after. Oh.
Is he dead, Annie?
No, but he may die before we get him to Doc Baker's. Get the horses, Tagg.
Okay, sis.
Is Tom Wheeler dead?
No. He's no better either. He's still unconscious and still fighting double pneumonia from that hole in his lung. I've got to get back over to Doc's in case he wakes up and able to talk.
Well, what are you doing with these?
Oh, well, I thought maybe you'd run these out to the ranch and see how Mrs. Wheeler's getting along. Tom's getting shot just above Florida.
Well, I can't take them out like this. Lofty, look here.
It's tar. Tom was probably patching a tar roof just before he was shot.
Lofty, sometimes I think I'll have to marry you.
Annie, will you?
Oh, no.
When?
Wait just a minute. I didn't say I would. I said I might have to. Now, listen to me. Tom Wheeler was shot out in the big sink. Now, suppose he walked in some tar out there. What would that mean?
Well, that would mean that, somebody's getting mighty careless with tar.
Oh, Lofty, sometimes I could just beat you. No, I'm not going to take these clothes back yet. I want to keep these boots here for a while.
Where are you going, Annie? Can I go?
Well, you can ride out to the Wiggins turnoff, and I'll pick you up at Rory's on the way back.
Okay, sis. All we have to do is slap some tar on the roof, and she'll be finished. Where are you going to get any tar? Pa's got most of barrel of it in the barn, and I know where there's all kinds of it out in the sink. Well, let's go get some.
It's tar. Gas.
I want to shoot that seepage line as far back in the cave as we can get. You drop back down the trail and see that we're not bothered.
Right.
Let's get this gear inside. Don't smoke, you fool. There's enough natural gas in that cave to blow the top off this mountain.
Put it here.
This seepage line runs through to form there's enough oil under the big sink to supply 4 countries.
Give me a trial sight.
Don't shoot. You'll explode the gas.
But there's someone up there.
No, there couldn't be. Must have been a coyote. Better go have a look. See, though. Come on. Well, what have we here?
These young gentlemen lost their horses. I told them we might be able to help them look for them. The chubby one's the Wiggins kid.
Oh?
No, I don't understand it. Pixie usually doesn't run off. Somebody must have scared him away after we dismounted.
I don't think anybody would do that. They probably just wandered off.
I don't know.
Butler, come here. You know, we've never been able to do anything about Wiggins before because he was never able to prove his government land out. But now he has. And now we can do something.
That's just the way I had it figured.
Come in.
Mr. Wiggins?
That's right. Come in, mister.
Is your son and the Oakley boy around?
No, they ain't. Anything wrong?
Well, no, I wouldn't say anything was wrong yet. We found their horses wandering around out in the sink and no trace of the boys. I reckon they'll turn up. It might be a long time, though, if they get real lost.
What, Pa? They could get hurt out there afoot with all those rattlers and things.
Now, don't you take on, ma'am. I just thought Mr. Wiggins would want to help us look for them.
Well, you bet I do. I'll be right with you. Where'd you say the horses were?
In Cave Canyon.
Now, don't you worry, Ma. I won't be any longer than I have to.
All right. Said he saw only the kids' horses in Cave Canyon.
You know, Mrs. Wiggins, there's a joker in this. A big, black, dirty joker. And I think I know what it is. Can you ride a horse?
Can I ride a horse? I can ride a horse, throw a rope, brand a calf, and shoot a rifle.
That makes it perfect. Have you got any steel-jacketed Winchester ammunition here?
I think so. Look. Seems like every time you want to use a rifle around here, you want a soft-nosed bullet.
Here are 3 steel jackets. If I hit the cave strata with these, they should cause sparks and explode the gas.
Be enough?
It'll have to be. You take the soft-nosed bullets and get the Winchesters.
All right. Here, Annie.
That's all you have to do, Mr. Wiggins. Just sign this agreement to sell me your ranch.
I get it. All this routine is for your finding the boys, huh?
That's right. Glad my men found the boys and their horses.
Come on, boys.
Spencer, you and your men get your hands up.
Annie Oakley!
Don't you boys shoot in there. Remember the gas.
Keep Spencer pinned onto the opening, Ma. I'll try to explode that gas with these steel-nosed bullets.
Toss me a 6-gun.
Folks, you all know by now that Frank Jessup hired Spencer to double-cross his employers, the ranch brokers, and tried to run you off your land by a reign of terror. Well, it didn't work.
We can sure thank you for everything.
I get it.
No, I didn't. It didn't work, and, well, between you, you own one of the richest oil fields that's ever been discovered in this country.
What? Hey, what do you know?
And I have here the sales agreement you signed for Spencer. I want you to know they're absolutely worthless because they were obtained by fraud and intimidation. The title to your lands is clear.
Gee, that's great, Sheriff. Thank you.
Tagg, will you and Rory give these back to the people who own them?
Sure, Lofty.
Annie, this is worth getting shot.
Only one more thing, Annie. I still say Tom could have been fixing a tar roof the day he was shot.
Lofty, I swear I will have to marry you.
No?
Someday.